priest who molested several boys will spend 20 years in prison. Fernando Sayasaya is convicted of sexually assaulting 2 young boys in the 90s. And since then, more victims have come forward. But he wasn't arrested right away. He spent nearly 20 years hiding in the Philippines. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer digs into the case and tells us the one thing investigators say they are still searching for.
I'd just like to say I'm regretfully sorry from the bottom of my heart if I caused pains to the victims.
Fernando Sayasaya's words echoing in the courtroom. A decades-long wait for the victims and investigators in this case is finally over.
It's isn't so much about law enforcement or us. It's about the victims and what happened and that they get their day.
Greg Warren is a lieutenant of investigations at the West Fargo Police Department. He has been on this case since the beginning. It started in 1998. Sayasaya was removed from his duties in the Fargo Diocese after 2 brothers accused him of molesting them.
This deep level of betrayal to not only these victims, but to the community, to the faith communities.
But in the middle of the investigation, Sayasaya fled to the Philippines. And it wasn't until 2002 when charges were filed. But Sayasaya never came back to the U.S. That was until last year.
It took a long time. It's crazy, but it's finalized, and to the victims, they move on.
And the number of those victims has grown.
Victims are more willing to speak out about what had happened to them.
Prosecutor Ryan Youngren tells us more victims have come forward.
I can say that the times that we talked with him, he didn't know if he could stop doing what he was doing.
Warren says most of the victims are still having troubles and need counseling, but he thinks they will be satisfied with this sentencing. And even though more victims have come forward, investigators say they still hope to find closure for these victims.
I don't know if there's ever complete closure with what happened, but they had their day today.
In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Sayasaya will serve 20 years in prison on 2 charges of gross sexual imposition. He will also be required to register as a sex offender.